I want to quote the Kentucky Attorney General. His name is Daniel Cameron. He is a African-American man, and he identifies with the Republican Party. First, he says, the criminal law is not meant to respond to every sorrow and grief. And that is true here. But my heart breaks for the loss of Miss Taylor. Sometimes the criminal law is not adequate to respond to a tragedy. And when I heard that the other day, and I'll repeat that last part, sometimes the criminal law is not adequate to respond to a tragedy, my heart went out because clearly the law does not protect its citizens in an adequate way. Because if you can lose your life and then the law does not adequately support you, then the laws need to be changed. Am I right about that? So I just want somebody just to go ahead and talk about, you know, what's your opinion of that statement that sometimes criminal law is not adequate to respond to a tragedy?
The truth is, he's right.
Okay.
As we listen to it with one side of our brain saying, that makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other side of our brain, we're like, he's absolutely correct. Because you have to start with, why was the law written?
Okay.
So if the law is written not to protect me, then you can twist it any way you want, and it'll come out that I'm not protected.
Right.
It's just the way it is, because the law wasn't written for me. It wasn't written for my protection. When you have this concept, not even this concept anymore, this precedent of qualified immunity for police. And so when you walk into the situation, you walk in saying, okay, the officer is innocent until proven guilty.
Right.
You'll never prove guilty because the law says he's innocent.
Right.
That person on the other end, specifically the person of color, is guilty. They're guilty. And all we have to do is find a few things to bolster up the fact that they're guilty. So we see it whenever there is an unarmed black man shot. The first, it's a playbook. I think you're right. If the laws were written to protect its citizens, then the minute you realize a law doesn't protect any of your citizenry, period, it doesn't matter who they are, if it doesn't protect them, you change it until all are protected. But that's not going to happen, because as quiet as it's kept on the outside, they don't see us as citizens.
I agree totally with Pastor. Totally. You're right on one hand, you're right on the other hand. It's sort of a catch-22. I sort of liken it to, I'm not sure of how many can relate to this, but I came up in an era in which I never, as a young man, I never got a spanking. I never got a whipping. I got beatings.
Okay.
So I don't know what a spanking was.
I was about to say, you're the first black person I ever met.
No, I didn't get a spanking or whipping. I got a beating.
Wow.
And what she said before she beat me was true, just like the Attorney General, who, you know, my first statement was about trust. When you look at the trust and the fact that your words can be true, when we look at the line that's drawn here with the fact that you are, number one, you're Republican, you're married to the niece of Mitch McConnell. Right. So, I mean, already there's no trust there. You have to use something that is lost in society, which is wisdom. And I'm sitting here tonight kind of torn because Dr. Walker asked me, okay, do you want me to put Bishop, Reverend? No. You know what? I don't feel like a preacher. I feel like an angry, not even African-American. I feel like an angry black man, because of the lack of trust, because what you said may be true, but it's sort of like Mama, when she beat me, she would say something that was true. She would say, this is going to hurt you more than it hurt me. That was true in a sense, because she was dealing with one type of hurt, which was emotional pain. I'm the one that had to deal with the physical pain of getting a beating. Right. And then she would say something that was totally ridiculous, Dr. Walker, something totally ridiculous. As she's beating me, she would say, be quiet. Shut up. Say, cry again. While she was whipping me, beating me, killing me, to be quiet. How do I express my anger? And so, although what he said was true, on the other hand, how do we express our anger? Right here in North Carolina, 50 years ago, we went through this in Oxford, in which two African-American males were killed in the street, and then it caused a riot. They want to know why we're rioting. We're rioting, we're burning down, we're protesting, because you're telling us the law doesn't protect you. The law isn't built to handle every situation. So, but be quiet in the middle of the beating. Be quiet in the middle of the murders. Be quiet in the middle. I'm going to charge him for what could have happened and not for what did happen, but be quiet. No, we're not going to be quiet, because we don't know any other way to express ourselves other than yelling, ouch, you're killing me, you're hurting me. My question is, although what he said may be true on one hand, not true on the other hand, what do you want from us other than the fact that we don't know how to yell for help, other than the fact of doing what we do?